going to belabor this. We've got Richard Reeves in studio. I'm about to go to him in here in just a moment. But people are ready to learn the truth. When you purchase the videos, you don't just get a weapon to wake somebody up in the info war. You also support our operation. We're expanding, building the TV studio. Finally got the permits, and that's ongoing now. You may even hear a lot of banging and stuff. I don't know what we're going to do because they're going to be working 12 hours a day, even though it's about 30 yards away where they're building it, or more. It's about 40 yards. But we need your support now more than ever. Our audience doubled on radio, internet, more than doubled last year. Last 3 months on the Alexa ratings were up almost 50%. So we're exponentially growing, but I can tell you the economy's falling apart. Over the years, we could pretty much gauge as listenership and numbers went up, the profit coming in, the revenue to fund our operation would go up right on line with it until about 2007. And thank God from media operation and the info war, we have just expanded and expanded and expanded and expanded and kind of like escaped the black hole that's sucking all the other media in, going bankrupt. And we're almost like in the new episode of Star Trek where they're getting out of the black hole and they're barely making it. I mean, we're just, we're pulling away, but that black hole's growing even faster. And so, again, we're trying to expand in the face of the New World Order. We're trying to expand in the face of all of this corruption. And so we're trying to take it up a notch here. We're trying to intensify. And you do that by supporting us, buying the books, DVDs, the Patriot T-shirts and material. And I want to thank everybody who has been supporting us. That rally last night, I'd say over 80% of the people there were wearing Infowars.com shirts, Joker shirts. It was my listeners that came out. You'd think the other gun community in Austin, we would muster more than the 300 I got out there. And our listeners got out there. But I'm just glad a caller called me, not this Sunday, but the Sunday before, I guess like 9 days ago, to even let me know that happened at the gun show. And we found out it was true. So we're now aware of that. It's now a national issue. But again, Infowars.com, the online video bookstore, or prisonplanet.tv, $5.95 a month. Watch the show live. All the films are there in high quality. Richard Reeve, I want to get into Deborah Medina, but I want to just go back. I got an email Saturday morning saying Rick Perry is going to be at Red's Indoor Range. And it wasn't official, so that was my one day. That one day I tried to spend the whole day with my children playing football and watching them on the scooters and walking in the woods and all that and painting with them and stuff, so I just ignored it. But I should have gone down there and talked to him, but I'm glad you did. And Richard, you just always do great work. You did great work with us on the Obama deception and on Fall of the Republic with the great camera work you did. And just a side issue, the New York Times and others said that there wasn't even a Bilderberg Group meeting. We were imagining cars following us and imagining Secret Service. You were there briefly. What happened?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was at the Chantilly, Virginia event with you guys. We all did the work together, and I was there shooting video. And there was definitely a Bilderberg event going on there. And as many people know, Obama and Hillary were potentially there inside the Bilderberg event. I'm sure they were.
It's been later confirmed.
That's right. They were missing at the time. So there was definitely a Bilderberg event there in Chantilly, Virginia, and I was there to witness and document that with you. That was a great honor to do that.
But that's another 2 + 2 = 5, where the media just says we just imagined it all.
Oh, well.
We were all having a mass hallucination.
I'm here to tell you it was not an imagined event, just like that fire alarm that happened around midnight, when you're going on coast to coast there at the hotel. I mean, that wasn't imagined.
So and remember, I came back to the hotel room, and me and Rob said, they just told us about don't pull fire alarms.
That's right. That's right.
And then I told, and those guys, even though I just told them that, the camera crew, still couldn't believe it.
Right, right. So, I mean, we could really go back and cover a lot of history that we've done together. We went to Dallas and did some JFK shooting up there to document that, and then Chantilly, Virginia Bilderberg event, and then you were in Canada. I wasn't on that trip with you guys up in Canada when y'all got held at the border and everything like that. So it's just been quite a saga that we've all kind of lived together here, and as a listener, I've gotten to have a front row seat to most of it with you going on, and I look forward to a lot more. I think the mainstream media is sabotaging themselves, though, by engaging in hoaxes with the flu and the North American Union and the SPP and the Copenhagen, denying it while it's all being set up and saying there's no mercury in the shots. It's really discrediting them. Well, absolutely, and that's one thing I do constantly on some of the programs that I do is I say, look, mainstream media, just keep it up. Keep up your lies. Keep up your omissions. Keep up your prevarications, and we're going to just obsolete you. It's going to be shows like yours on GCN Live and your InfoWars program. It's going to be shows like yours that are going to dominate, and that's happening already. You were talking about how the newspapers are going into the black hole, the black abyss of non-profitability. As a matter of fact, they've literally shrunk in size now. They're actually smaller than they used to be, not only in thickness but also in width. So that's what we're doing is we're taking the mainstream media down, and we'll continue to do that with alternative radio programs and internet shows like yours. And that's where the mainstream media, they're either going to we're going to have to drag them along, and in some cases they are being dragged along. And thankfully, at least they're willing to at least report on some of this news to where we can go in and read between the lines and decipher what's going on in the world. So,
well, I'll tell you briefly about the very successful protest last night. I want to thank everybody for coming out there. It was great meeting folks. I believe it's the same CBS black reporter. I mean, I forgot his name, but he looked like the guy who was in the earlier CBS reports reading what the police told him, that it is illegal to have private sales. And I showed him the law, and he said, well, look, don't get mad at us. We just reported what the police told us. And then they did the right thing, actually. After I showed him the law, they actually put it on the news, and it was a 90% accurate report instead of 100% baloney. And the other newscasts were pretty fair. So the fact is, and it got their attention when I bullhorned them and said, how dare you? You know, people don't understand. When you kiss up to them and go along with it, it doesn't work. You've got to, when you're in the right, you got to say, you are wrong. And here's the facts. And so that's a great victory.
Well, it does take somebody calling them out on their actions. We have to. That's just like with this Rick Perry clip that hopefully we'll show in a little bit, where I caught up with him at Red's Indoor Range. I got word of it Friday from Robert Morrow, a friend of mine, said Rick Perry's going to be at Red's Indoor Range on Friday afternoon. We went up there, and a bunch of us showed up. It was a cadre of patriots that were there, and we waited 2 hours. I want to thank Val and Rita, because Val is the one that shot the video himself, and Rita was there as well, his wife. And we waited 2 hours to get that 1 minute of video because they wouldn't allow us inside the store to try to get this testimony out of Rick Perry to get his standing on where he stood on this gun show being closed down. So anyway, we waited there patiently. We finally got him. And as you saw, I only had less than a minute there before.
Got a minute, 11 seconds.
Right, before he says, I got to go. And not only that, his bodyguard or aide or whoever it was actually physically grabs him and pulls him away. And I'm still there wanting to ask questions and continue the conversation. But at least we got him on record. My goal was to get him on record, say, hey, Rick Perry, where do you stand on this issue of the gun show being closed down? And
he waffled at first, but at the end he said, no, my understanding is your understanding, right, Richard, that this was intimidation, that this was harassment, that this was, a lot of things, and that they're looking into it. So now it is on record, because it's this illusion of the Austin police chief and the BATFE and the government saying, no, this is what we did, and that's our story, we're sticking to it. Now the governor's saying, hey, this is wrong. But I want to talk about who we hope our next governor is going to be, Deborah Medina, in a moment. But let's go ahead and play this Rick Perry clip right now. Here's the video and audio of that. This is Red's Indoor Range.
Hi, I'm Richard. I had at least one more question about the gun show issue.
Lay it on me.
Robert explained it earlier. My understanding is that the gun show owner has not voluntarily given up his gun show. What has happened, evidently, is a combination of APD and or BATFE has gone and talked to the landlord of the building, who is supposed to be HEB,
right,
and that HEB has come to the gun show owner and said, hey, your gun show's off, you're done. And my understanding is that the gun show has done nothing wrong, that they've been convicted over or anything like that.
That's my understanding too. And my advice is find another venue.
Find another venue?
Sure.
I mean, is it okay that the feds come in and pressure a landlord like that?
I don't think that's fine at all. My deal is, though, until we get that all cleared up, because I mean, there's a lot of he said, she said here, then I don't know what the facts are.
Right.
But if the issue is HEB won't let you have that site, I'll bet you there's somebody in this city that would dearly love to say,
well, I agree, that's true.
Here's what, and then go forward. And if they try it again at that particular point in time, I'm not a lawyer, but I got to start saying that harassment's getting into play here.
Well, that's
I got to go.
Harassment, pressure.
Boom. So they drag him off.
That's right.
But definitely this has drawn national attention. They've now admitted the Justice Department came in and told the police department to do this. They ran the last gun show off. They now just shut this one down. And they've been caught telling different stories now. They're in a lot of trouble if people force the issue.
Well, I look forward to our gun show in Austin being secured in perpetuity, right here in Austin because of this event. I think we're really going to be victorious on that. We had the big rally yesterday that got the word out. You had the press reporting on it, 90% honest manner there. We've got Rick Perry here. Now, think about this. It's a month and a week before a primary election here in Texas. The governor's race is a contested race, regardless of what anybody says. Rick Perry, you think at least he'd be grandstanding on this gun show issue and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to take charge. We're going to see to it that the feds aren't down here interfering in our gun rights and our Second Amendment rights.